of a blood cell. It's incredibly accurate. Now, before I talked about their name, it's the mission of Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment. The Earth's gravity will tug on each satellite at different times as they fly over mountains and seas. The accurate measurement and location that we have of the satellites allows the Earth's gravity to be measured and mapped.
Bem-vindo, pessoal, à transmissão ao vivo aqui, lançamento do iriduim-6, a missão da Space. Estamos aqui fazendo mais uma transmissão aqui no Notícia Astronômica e você confere tudo aqui no Notícia Astronômica, sempre que temos transmissão ao vivo. E agora fique com a transmissão ao vivo aqui do satélite que vai ser lançado. Falta 3 minutos e 44, galera. Vou tomar um copo d'água aqui e daqui a pouco eu volto.
Stage T TVC motion nominal just called out. That's the final check of the thrust vector control actuators that move the second stage engine in flight.
Boa tarde, Fábio Viana. Um abração aí, meu amigo. Inscreva aí no canal, viu, Fábio?
We do see one. That's normal. Iridium and Grace satellites are ready to go. The teams are waiting for launch. The range. Passed inside of T-minus 3 minutes and counting. Looking good. Falcon 9. Close up.
Hoje de astronômica também, Fábio Viana. Verdade, Fabiano, sucesso mesmo no trabalho, é um foguete bem desenvolvido aí, pessoal. A pessoa tem que ter muita tecnologia para isso. Mas já vou beber um copo de água aqui e volto já.
F9 is in startup.
LD, go for launch.
Cheguei aqui, foi rapidinho. É só pra beber um copo d'água. Aqui, 33 segundos para começar o lançamento. Vamos lá, né?
T-minus 30.
Two more than seconds. 11 nominal. 11.
20.
Galera, vocês estão assistindo aí, acompanhando a live, se inscreva assim no canal aí, pra apoiar aí o canal. Deixa o like aí na transmissão aí. Todo lançamento que tiver importante a gente faz, mano. Vamos lá. 4, 3, 2, 1. Vamos ver. Pega. Boa. Tem nublado, galera, num canto aí, mas tá dando bem, olha aí. Satélite bonito todo ele. Uma missão da Space. Muito bonito sempre o lançamento da Space, sempre é bonito.
Plus 47 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 performing nominally. We're currently throttling down the 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage, preparing for the period of maximum dynamic pressure and going supersonic.
Vamos pro terceiro estágio já, galera.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
You heard the call out, Falcon 9 is supersonic. We're throttling the Merlin 1D engines back up as we pass through the period of maximum dynamic pressure.
Maximum dynamic pressure.
A minute and a half into flight, trajectory looks good for Falcon 9. We're seeing the view from a ground camera, and obviously we're having trouble with the autofocus, but Falcon 9 continues to track downrange well. Power on the Merlin 1D engines looks good. Avionics power looks good.
MVAC engine chill has begun.
The MVAC engine chill call out indicates that we have opened the pre-valve. We're beginning to chill in the upper stage engine in preparation for ignition. Now the sequence of events coming up at T plus 245, we will have main engine cutoff. We'll shut down the 9 Merlin engines. The first stage will then separate, and we will light the second stage engine.
Olha os otários aqui de que a Terra é plana, olha aí. Imagens ao vivo do foguete. Gasta milhões de reais nesse foguete. De dólares, na verdade, né? Em câmeras principalmente, e estragam muitas câmeras. E olha aí, olha a Terra aí, olha que bonita, olha a bonita imagem. A altitude. Vamos fazer o terceiro estágio. Vamos lá pro terceiro estágio.
We're throttling down the engines in preparation for MECO.
Olha aí, galera. Terceiro estágio completo, olha aí.
MVAC ignition.
Foi
We've had successful shutdown and separation. Second stage engine has lit.
Combustível.
Major activity coming up in about 14 seconds is separation of the payload fairing.
Olha aí.
We have fairing separation confirmed.
Satélite aí.
You can see 3 of the iridium-6 satellites of the set of 5. As I mentioned, the gray satellites mounted on top of that, but not visible from the camera.
Following a nominal trajectory.
3.5 minutes into flight, we've heard the call out. The trajectory is nominal. The power in the upper stage engine is good.
Verdade, verdade, Fábio. Verdade. Sucesso total, graças a Deus aí.
T plus 4 minutes since that great liftoff from Vandenberg.
Muito bem.
A view from the second stage aft-facing camera. California coastline, we're headed south towards Antarctica. Now, as a reminder, the first stage is not going to be recovered, so there won't be any views from the drone ship downrange on this mission. We're 5 minutes into flight. Second stage engine power on the MVAC-D engine continues to look good. We're running at over 200,000 pounds of thrust in the vacuum of space. Trajectory continues to look good. Power on the second stage from the batteries mounted on the avionics rack continue to perform well. All systems continue to look good on the Falcon 9, carrying 5 iridium-6 satellites and the 2 Grace follow-on satellites. T plus 6 minutes and 4 seconds into flight. Second stage of the Falcon 9 continues to perform nominally. All systems go on Falcon 9 carrying iriduim-6
Já
and Grace
vamos se
follow-on.
aproximar do terceiro estágio. Parabéns aí para a empresa Space.
Listen to call-outs from the propulsion team. Everything continues to look good for the upper stage engine.
Fez ótimo lançamento.
Now, as a reminder, it's 6 minutes and 45 seconds into flight. This is the first burn. That'll put us into an initial orbit, following which we will deploy the Grace satellites. We'll then have a second burn that moves us into final orbit for the deployment of the iriduim-6 satellites. So stay with us after we get shut down of the engine. 7 minutes into flight. As I mentioned, we'll have 2 burns. In between will be a 42-minute coast phase between the end of burn 1 and the start of burn 2. Coming up on 8 minutes into flight since launch of Falcon 9 from Space Launch Complex 4 at Vandenberg Air Force Base. We're heading south over the Pacific Ocean, headed towards Antarctica on our first of 2 burns of the upper stage engine. Now, in order to fly a efficient trajectory for both of the payloads, we're actually now running the second stage engine at lower power. That means the burn will be longer. For folks who are used to seeing us shut down the upper stage engine 9 to 9.5 minutes into flight, today we'll actually be shutting down the engine just past T plus 10 minutes into flight. That's planned for today. The longer burn at lower power obviously takes more time, but gives us a more efficient trajectory.
Stage 2 AFTSS saved.
We're just past 9 minutes into flight. Everything continues to go well. As I said before, of Africa, we will relight the...
Tá dando um erro no caso que... Mas... vai se resolver. Tá, eu volto, peraí. Voltamos de novo. Vamos pro quarto, né?
Cook LOS expected.
Quarto estágio.
Tico.
We've had shutdown of the second stage engine. We're going to wait for call out on the
Onde ele
orbit.
tá já, galera? Primeiro estágio, segundo estágio.
Nominal parking orbit insertion.
And what we like to hear on the speakers in the background, nominal parking orbit insertion. The first burn of the second stage is complete, but stay with us because in less than a minute, we're going to be coming up on separation and deployment of the 2 Grace follow-on satellites. While we can't see the satellites directly from the camera, we're hoping with the wider field of view of the camera that we might catch a glimpse of 1 or 2 of them passing through the field of view as they separate away from the dispenser mounted on top of the 5 iriduim-6 satellites.
Para o quarto estágio agora. Vamos lá, vai desengaixar ali. Vamos lá pra ver. Olha ali.
Grace payload deploy confirmed.
We have confirmation of deployment
Confirmado.
of the Grace follow-on satellites. So we're through the first major milestone today. The first satellites have been deployed. We're now going into a coast phase with the second stage with the 5 iriduim-6 satellites still attached.
Agora
We're
vamos
going to
pausar a
resume
transmissão.
coverage of live commentary at T+56 minutes, just under 44 minutes from now. We'll leave you with animations and possibly live views from space as we have ground station contact. So currently, everything looking good on Falcon 9, and we'll be back coming up for the relight of the second stage engine and the deploy of the iriduim-6 satellites.
Galera, agora vai ficar só aí. Vai ficar na transmissão. Vai ficar só assim. Galera, depois eu volto porque vai demorar muito agora, no mínimo 1 hora para completar o quinto estágio agora, viu? Depois eu volto, valeu aí Valeu Fábio aí, obrigado Fábio. Qualquer coisa eu volto aí para terminar a transmissão, viu? E obrigado aí Fábio, deixa aí seu like, viu? Valeu galera, até o próximo lançamento se Deus quiser. Fui!